guys good to go?
I just got a better seat.
Ready to go.
Okay. I'd like to call the August 25th, 2025 Peachtree City Planning Commission meeting to order. If all in attendance would please rise and join me in pledging the allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone this evening. I know our city manager is here this evening. I know our planning director is not feeling well, so he's going to be sitting in for her this evening on one of our new agenda items. So thank you for your time this evening. Any announcements this evening?
No announcements.
Okay. Any presentations?
No, sir.
So I should actually say, if you're reading over this, this is a new agenda format, and this has been pushed out to all of the different commissions. Is that correct, yes. Justin? So this is going to be the new agenda format going forward. You're going to see a couple new items on there: presentations, public comment. There's going to be another item for agenda changes. And then we have at the bottom member staff topics. You'll still see the old agenda items, new agenda items, and when we do have a public hearing, that will be on there also. So again, this is just to have commonality between all the different commissions, because some of them were different. So just trying to get all that being very concise between all. So we do have I'm sorry, go ahead. Yes.
Question on that. So was that something that City Council decided?
City Council did ask about it with me. So since we formed the RAG and the TAG and some of our new commissions,
Yeah.
everyone's kind of had their own agendas and it's been kind of confusing. So I did have some questions from council, and so I consulted with the city attorney, and we just decided let's do a standard format for every commissioning group. So that way, as commissioners and then even as citizens too, it should, moving forward, it should just be pretty standard for every meeting that you come to that Peachtree City has, no matter what commissioner group you're going to.
Yeah, I mean, only concern is that I would push back on the public comment section. I mean, I really have no problem with comments from the public. I invite them, but we do have public hearings where public comment is incorporated.
Correct.
And we are volunteers, and I'm nervous about an extended or lengthy public comment section, especially some of us, most of us have other jobs.
Right.
And
Well, I think that's being
families.
hashed out. I think that's
Yeah.
so. Some other concerns were raised. That's why it's postponed tonight. And so your chair and vice chair both had some conversations with me, and so that's why we postponed it, is to figure out. Because the time limits that are currently in the ordinance only apply to city council. So that is where we want to respect your time as volunteers. So we do encourage public comment, but let's figure out a way to make it to where it's not someone getting up and talking to you all for 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I would argue that public comment is incorporated where necessary already.
It is in public hearing, but
Yeah.
the argument would be there too that it is also in public hearings for council as well, and then they have separate public comment. So I think we can make it happen, but let's do it in a reasonable way to where it does have limitations to where you all can actually move on with business that is necessary.
So stay tuned on that. But yeah, we definitely appreciate going ahead and postponing that at this time until we can go ahead and, like I said, put some
parameters.
Put some guidelines and some parameters on that for all the commissions, which I think will give us the best path forward on that. So, okay, any agenda changes?
So, yes, unfortunately, the topic for the landscape vegetation protection and landscape requirements, we were planning to have the city's urban forester come and help us with that discussion on native and invasive plants, and unfortunately he went home sick today. So it seemed best just to postpone till we could have a better discussion with his input. So we'll schedule that for next time.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I think it's important to have him here, especially on the native plant side. I think the invasive plants, I think those are pretty straightforward for the most part, and I think we were probably all pretty much in agreement on those when we've had some prior discussions. But it would be nice to go ahead and get his input into the native species and have a good discussion on that as when we go forward then with that text amendment. Again, it's the best it can be, so appreciate that. So really what we have a new agenda item since everything else has been postponed from the old agenda items. And that is the concept plat modifications, Rockaway Townhomes, 201 Rockaway Road.
We still need to approve the minutes.
Oh, I skipped over the minutes. I'm
Just
way
fix
ahead of
it.
myself. Sorry about that. I started talking about agenda changes and then just skipped over everything. So, apologize. So, everyone had an opportunity to take a look at the minutes. Any comments or questions related to those? Okay. As I hear none, like a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the minutes as
Second.
submitted. We have a second. Any other comments, discussion? No? If that's the case, all those in favor of approving the minutes as submitted signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, minutes approved as submitted. And that's what happens when we have a new agenda format. Okay, so we approve the minutes. The old agenda items, again, we just already discussed. So now we're into the new agenda items, which is the concept plat modification for 201 Rockaway Townhomes, 201 Rockaway Road. Turn it over to staff.
Alrighty. I'm going to try to give you a little bit of background on this because it is an older project for you all. And we're bringing it back to you tonight because there has been a change in the layout that staff thought was significant enough that you all should see it again. So this property is located on the south end of town, across from, this is Rockaway Road, and this is the Summerby development. And so right here is the property, and it is zoned LUC 20. It's a limited use commercial district. And it was zoned that in 2007, and that included the Summerby development and this property on the opposite side of the road that was also supposed to have some age-restricted units, 30 to be exact. So in 2020, City Council approved an amendment to some of those zoning conditions for the LUC 20 district, and that included removing the age restriction on the units, there was an initial, I'm just going to go ahead and forward to the approved, whoops, actually I have another diagram. So originally it was going to be required that the curb cut align across Rockaway, so the Summerby entrance and whatever was developed on this property was supposed to align. Unfortunately, that is not possible because there is a power pole right across from there. So, and then finally, there was an initial requirement for a 50-foot landscape buffer along Rockaway Road. However, there is a 100-foot Georgia Power easement along the road, so that didn't make sense. So they also removed that requirement. Let's see. And just so you know, within that power easement along the frontage, it does not allow for the planting of trees or other vegetation that could hinder vehicular access, or you're not permitted to create any kind of berms, which would reduce the ground clearance between for the high tension power lines. So this original concept plat, do you all have any questions about this map? Of course, the property backs up to Meade Field, Summerby, as I said, Highway 74, Rockaway Road. So this is the plan that you all eventually approved, and that was in October of 2020. And there were a couple of approval conditions that went with that. The final design and location of the subdivision entrance shall be reviewed and approved by the city engineer as the site plan development progresses. And secondly, a landscape plan shall be submitted for review and approval by the Planning Commission prior to issuing any certificates of occupancy for the residential units. Now, I think we all assumed that just the driveway entrance would shift a bit one way or the other in order to avoid the poles. What we have, and we'll flip back and forth between these two, and just for your reference, because the plan orientation is flipped from reality and north is to the left, I've added the rotated map just so you can kind of keep things straight. So here is the modified concept plat, and basically the reason being for this is the city manager and the city engineer met with the applicant, the developer, to discuss a proposal for a new access road from Rockaway to Mead Field that would include a new curb cut for the development versus having having two curb cuts. The city was going to need to build this road anyway to access Mead Field. So there would have been two curb cuts, and then obviously the Summerby curb cut is right here, so a little bit of traffic congestion going on there. So the city engineer provided some comment, said he prefers this redesign due to the fact that it will eliminate a curb cut on Rockaway Road, and also it's a positive change from traffic perspective due to the elimination of that curb cut. So again, as I said, since this is a significant change from the original plat that you all approved, we felt we needed to bring it back for your review. And I'll open that up for, and the applicant is here this evening as well.
Okay, thank you. The applicant, if you would like to come up to the podium, state your name and who you represent.
Hi, my name is my name is Richard Ferry. I'm with Brent Holdings, and we are the owner of the property.
Do you have anything to add to staff's presentation?
No, I appreciate the presentation very much. We're very, very excited to be doing this. We think it's a huge step forward in doing exactly what Laura pointed out, eliminating the curb cuts. The initial curb cut, as she pointed out, was here, and that's just in there for reference. As you can see, it creates an additional curb cut that's unnecessary. So bringing it up to the city road here and then sharing in the cost of that is a win for both sides. So we are in complete agreement with this and definitely looking forward to getting it done.
Great, thank you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to the commissioners. If they have any questions to start, Commissioner Hamner.
Yep. So, quick question regarding parking. Did any of that change at all?
I'm sorry, any parking?
Yes.
Well, actually, in some ways they have. Part of the original problem we were having with the subdivision was the odd size of the units. The original units were 22 feet wide, which does allow for a two-door garage, a regular width garage door for two spots, but the access for the pedestrian access is very narrow. So the typical size for a townhome of this size would be 24 feet wide. So what we actually were able to do is increase the parking for it. So in one layout we had cars that were kind of stacked inside the house. It was like nose to nose parking inside there. This is more of a traditional layout. I think it works much better. And then further, the driveways are much longer. So this accommodated all those into one simple solution.
Understood.
Oh, you are down here? Some additional parking down there as well.
Got it. I believe we answered this last time we talked about this in 2020, but for golf carts, how does this tie into the golf cart system?
The tie-in is right there.
And that's still aligned with where we were last time we
Yes,
talked about
same
that.
alignment.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Those are my questions.
Okay, great. Thank you. Commissioner Chris?
Yeah, no, thanks for bringing this back to us. Appreciate that. In the original design, I see a blue box on the map that doesn't, I don't know if that appears in the second design. It says amenity area / CMU. Can you describe what that was?
Central mailbox unit.
Okay, so where is that located now?
Todd, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it over here? Oh, it's right
It's
there.
right here.
Oh, right there. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just been relocated.
Yes.
It's much smaller, it looks like.
It only needs to have 30 boxes,
Okay.
and they'll be covered.
Okay.
We don't do uncovered boxes anymore. We've heard too much from the post office that we cover everything now.
Great. And question for staff. So this road was going to be built anyway by the city,
It might be.
and is that because is this parking lot that's kind of behind and to the right, that's already there? Is that already existing?
Correct.
Okay, and is the road being built because of the potential pickleball courts after
No.
that? No, this is just something that was going to happen.
This
no
is
matter
to
what.
get people to the it's the big lot that was built between the softball fields and the lacrosse fields.
Yeah.
This driveway has basically been a part of that design since then, which is actually before my time. So we've been wanting to build this driveway for 5 years now.
Okay.
But it is for that big parking lot that already exists between softball and lacrosse. And if you've been down there recently too, you'll see we have a gravel lot that connects the current entrance to that bottom lot, but that's never been the permanent answer. The second driveway has been what we've been planning.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I'm. No further questions from me. Yeah.
Thank you.
Commissioner Halverson, any questions?
I have a compliment and a question. One, I think this layout is much better. It works significantly better than the old one. The one question I had perhaps of staff has to do with the fire lane at the upper left-hand corner, the turnaround piece that's poking into the Georgia Power easement and the landscape buffer. Can you qualify that as to if that's okay? How is that approved?
Well, this is actually part of a development construction set that staff is currently reviewing.
Ah.
So the fire marshal will be reviewing this, and I don't know whether he's made any comments yet, but he will comment on that.
Okay, that's the only thing I noticed.
So they
that-
may have, I don't know if they'll have to tweak it at all.
Right.
Where are you? Like up at the end of the neighborhood, at the end of the.
Yep, right at
Where
the
you
end
guys
where the
turn- okay.
turnaround is that connects into where the golf cart path
Yes,
connects
yes.
into.
Okay.
Everything else is as of right, so you're good to go. I mean, you're right on the line, but you got it in there. But that's my only question, is they may question that, and you may have to reconfigure the end a bit to make that work, but that's not my wheelhouse. So.
Commissioner Allen, any questions?
No questions. Staff, this is an excellent, easily to understand presentation. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I have one additional question. if it's okay.
Absolutely.
So I see one of the conditions was that the final design location of the subdivision entrance needed to be reviewed and approved by the city engineer. So has this new entrance been reviewed and approved by the city engineer?
Yes, that he was part of the discussions with the developer that they arrived at this proposal. Yes.
And no concerns basically from him on the
No.
change? Okay, great,
Mm-mm.
perfect.
And the questions I had were pretty much asked already, so I'm going to go ahead and stay with Commissioner Allen. Any comments?
No?
No comments. Commissioner Halverson, any other comments?
No.
Commissioner Kriz?
Nothing further.
Commissioner Hamner?
Yeah, two. So I will say this: the new shared access road with Mead Field overall appears to be a really positive change. I'm glad that the city also likes this better than the previous plan on that. Again, reducing the curb cut and improving the alignment of these in relation to where they're going to be, with summer being the fields. I think overall is really good, and I think as well will help with traffic safety moving forward as well. And then the other thing, and this was noted in the write-up in the packet that we received, no major question about this, but just want to highlight as well, is that there were some references about this being in the presence of a future 100-year floodplain. Just want to make sure that's notable on that, and then just making sure that we just have ongoing attention for the stormwater management and maintenance responsibilities for that.
And I apologize, I just remembered I did have a question. And this kind of goes back to and I actually marked it down and didn't pay attention to what I marked down. This goes back to the original design when we saw it back in 2020. So if I remember correctly, there was a pretty good discussion on the landscaping buffer because of that. And I know we'll still see a landscaping plan that will come out. But, you know, if you're able to, or if you need something from staff, please go back and take a look at that discussion that happened. There was a pretty good amount of discussion with the commissioners at that time to ensure that there's sufficient landscaping buffer in there. And the other item was, and I know that was brought up, was amenities. So this location doesn't really appear to have any amenities. I know Meade Field is right behind it. You know, and I think that was what came up when we had the first discussion, is that there's ample space for, you know, kind of the park and everything right there. Has there been any change to that? Because I don't see anything. I just
No.
wanted to ask that. Okay. So those are my questions. Thank you. Comment. I know there, like I said, there was a lot of discussion on that entrance road going in. I know we went back and forth, and I remember Commissioner Gresham at the time also, I believe, worked with you just on some layout items because of the fire lane and kind of the placement of some of the buildings. So I know staff said it'll be still reviewed by the fire marshal and everything, but I know that was a concern at the time when this first came around in front of the commission. So, but I agree with the other commissioners. I think it's a really good design, good plan. I like how you've been able to go ahead and kind of separate out the condos a little bit with the longer driveway and kind of giving them almost their own driveways, where some of them almost were, like I said, overlapping in the past. And the cross utilization of the new street that's going in is excellent. So I think that's a good win-win for both. Any other comments, questions? No? Okay. Do we have a motion from the dais on this item?
Motion to approve the concept plat modifications at Rockaway Townhouses 201 Rockaway Road as submitted.
Second.
Okay, so, well, we have a motion to approve the Rockaway Townhomes at conceptual site plan as submitted. And we do have a second. Any other comments or questions? No? Okay, with that, all those in favor of approving the Rockaway Townhomes as submitted signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, the item is approved. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I need to get back to the new agenda as I scroll through here.
Public hearings.
Let's see here. So, thank you. Yes. Public hearings, none. Member staff topics.
We have nothing.
So do we have anything in particular from the commissioners?
Do we need to announce that Chris is no longer?
It hasn't been formalized.
Okay.
Yeah, not yet. Okay, so no member or staff topics. Next meeting is, thank you. Next meeting is September 8th. Full agenda, I take it, most likely. I know we'll probably have our three
mainly the
text amendments.
The text amendments. I don't know that there's anything else for new agenda
this time?
items.
Okay. Well, that'll be a good discussion on those text amendments, no matter if we have other items or not. So it'd be nice to be able to get those things rolling forward and get them out to council.
And we'll have
So-
a new UDO meeting that evening as well, right?
Not sure.
Okay.
We had originally discussed just having those at the second,
Oh, the second one.
but
okay.
Yeah.
we spoke to Ken prior to tonight and decided that we didn't have a lot to discuss, so we'd hold off.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
So
good.
possibly end of September meeting.
Okay.
Which is the 22nd is the second one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, we're waiting on two things. Number one, the budget to pass. And then number two, we're still collecting materials with city staff right now that would be used for the first pass of what the UDO would look like.
Perfect. Great. Okay, if there's nothing else, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion to adjourn in a second. All those in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye.